Have you ever felt like the universe was trying to tell you something? You see the same numbers over and over, or maybe certain events orchestrate and correspond in your life in a way that seems way too coincidental to ignore. If so, you're not alone. You've likely experienced something called synchronicity. Those moments when the universe gives us a gentle nudge or even a wallop over the head to get your attention about something important on your timeline. What is up, everyone? My name is David. This is Lightwaves, your hub for all things spiritual awakening. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 most common types of synchronicities that are probably already happening in your life, but you may be missing them. You might be surprised by the different and subtle ways the universe tries to speak to you and the potential messages or confirmations you might be missing. So just to get the definition of synchronicity out of the way real quick in case you're new to the topic, the famous psychologist Carl Jung defines synchronicity as meaningful coincidences. So if 2 random events seem to be connected in some unexplained way but holds no significant meaning for you, then that would be a coincidence. From your perspective. If the coincidence hits a certain way that has a significant meaning for your current situation, then that's a synchronicity. For a deeper dive into synchronicity, check out my synchronicity playlist, which you can click right here, which also includes a deep dive into angel numbers. The 2 work hand in hand very well together. After you watch this video, of course, I'll also link the playlist in the description below as well. The first type of synchronicity is the life path synchronicity. These synchronicities show up when major life events or choices seem to align in a way that suggests you're being guided along a particular path. They often feel like confirmation that you're on the right track or provide clarity during times of uncertainty. For example, you're unsure about a big life decision, like changing a career or moving to a new city, but then a series of synchronicities, such as randomly meeting the right person who just happens to be an expert in that field or who already lives in that city, gives you just the right advice, making it clear that this is the right step or the wrong step for you. The second type of synchronicities are relationship synchronicities. These synchronicities involve relationships and connections with others. They might occur when you meet someone new who seems to share a deep, unexplainable connection with you, or when you notice patterns in how certain types of people keep showing up in your life. For example, do you consistently keep attracting emotionally unavailable partners or emotional manipulators? You keep encountering people who remind you of a lesson or a trait that you need to develop, such as self-love, self-worth, or self-validation. Over time, you finally start to get that these relationships are tools guiding you towards personal growth instead of obsessively focusing on the relationships themselves. Now, before we get to the third type of synchronicity, if you've just had a spiritual awakening and you're seeing and interacting with the world in a way that you've never experienced before, then hit that subscribe button. I discuss all things spiritual awakening, such as how to get through the dark night of the soul, third eye openings, 5D, unity consciousness, and many other esoteric teachings. The third type of synchronicity is precognitive synchronicity. These involve getting glimpses of future events, usually through dreams or gut feelings. You might dream about a place that you've never been, and months later, you find yourself there in real life. Or maybe you have a strong sense of foreboding about a trip or an event that something is going to happen, and it does. Story time, Light Fam story time. When I was maybe 8 or 9, my mom and dad were going to go to the grocery store, and I started crying and begging them not to go, but I didn't understand why. And after my parents spent the extra time needed to calm me down and reassure me that I was just being silly, we all left for the grocery store together just to show me that everything was fine. Well, you guessed it. We got to our usual intersection, and of course, there was a huge wreck that must have happened maybe 10 or 15 minutes earlier. One car was completely upside down. The other one was on its side in this deep ditch. This was a catastrophic accident with coworkers everywhere running around. So from that day forward, my parents learned to listen to me when I had precognitive visions. The fourth type of synchronicity is thematic synchronicity. These happen when the same theme or message keeps showing up in different ways, almost like the universe is trying to drive the point home. You could be having a conversation with a friend about change, and then later you overhear a total stranger talking about the same thing. And then you turn on the radio and just randomly someone happens to be expounding on that same theme. It's almost like everything is pointing you in that same direction. For example, maybe you're reflecting on the concept of letting go, and then suddenly every podcast you listen to or every book you see seems to center around that exact theme. Or maybe you're working through a relationship issue, and within days, different friends, movies, or even strangers start discussing that similar relationship dynamic, which gives you an unexpected insight and advice that happens to be the key to solving the dilemma of that relationship. The fifth type of synchronicity is technological synchronicities. In our modern digital world, synchronicities can even manifest through technology. These include moments when certain information seems to find you online, such as specific articles, videos, or recommendations that seem to address exactly what you were thinking about or questioning in your mind. How did that happen? Or maybe you're going through a painful period in your life where you feel stuck and disconnected from the people, places, and things that used to make up your identity. And then magically, this term dark night of the soul that you've never heard before, dark night of the soul, seems to pop up everywhere in your feed, your posts that you are recommended. But how did that happen? You've never heard of the term before, so you couldn't have searched it, and you couldn't have said it out loud for Alexa to hear it and store it. That is technological synchronicity finding you. Remember, guys, what you seek is seeking you. Those are the 5 types of synchronicities that you may already have experienced without even realizing it. The universe has a funny way of weaving together the fabric of our lives through these meaningful coincidences. But here's the question. Are you paying attention to the synchronicities? Let me know in the comments if you've experienced any of these synchronicities and what they meant for you. If you feel comfortable enough to share, your experience may shed light on someone else's journey. Until next time, I will see all you guys in the next video. Peace.